caregivers, it's Miss Emily. I've got a really cool little strategy for you to use when you're out and about running errands. You can include your kids in the process. And my friend Miss Heather, she's a kindergarten club teacher. Guess what? Her kids are bigger now, but she had 4 kids under the age of 5, and that was busy. Plus she was a teacher. And she used a little strategy to help her get through her day and her errands. And it was called making a map. If any of you remember the show Dora the Explorer, she always made a map. And she would always have 3, I think she usually used 3 or 4 different things that she would put on her map. And if you remember that show, first she'd make the map, then they'd use it during the exploration, and then at the end, she would always review it. There's a reason for that. Kids are learning with that. It's helping them with short-term memory, which is very important because teachers often give directions 3 or 4 things at a time. Put your crayons away, push in your chair, line up, and grab your coat. Those are common directions in kindergarten. That's a lot to process. We want to help kids learn to follow multi-step directions. We can do that with pictures and with words, and we can do that every day in real life. Also, that helps with a skill called sequencing. Sequencing is putting things in order and retelling. And when you read a story, reading comprehension, what happened first, then what happened, and what happened at the end. You can ask your child those questions, but we can also sequence throughout our day. At Head Start, they do something called plan, do, review. They plan it out, they do it, and then the child retells it. So a great way to do that is to make a map of your errands. You can be a terrible, horrible drawer. My daughter's videotaping me. Guarantee she's going to laugh her head off at my drawings. I don't care. Your kids won't care. Because I'm going to make a little map of errands. This saved me with my kids too. So we're going to write map. It's hard to write upside down. So let's say you have a few things to do. You need to go to the grocery store. That's fine. I'm just making a rectangle. Doesn't matter. Giant eagle, grocery store. Okay? So you say first, number 1, we're going to go to the grocery store. Number 2, we're going to go, I'll just make it up, to the bank. And I put a money sign. And the bank is a place where you get lollipops. And number 3, when we're all done with our chores, we're gonna go to the playground. So I'm drawing some very crude swings, okay? So you plan with your child. You say, today we're going to Giant Eagle because we have to get bread and milk and some other things. Then we're going to the bank where you get your lollipop, and I'm going to deposit some money. That means I have to put some in our account. And then we get to go to the playground. Then you make this with your child, you bring it with you, your child has it to refer to. Kids like to know what they're in for. Imagine being a little kid and being dragged around all the time. You wouldn't feel like you had a lot of control. It's really great. That's why teachers often have schedules and picture schedules. If people know what to expect, they tend to do better, especially if they know they have something to look forward to at the end. So you do your errands. You can check them off as you go. And then later when you get home, turn it around and say, where did we go today? What did we do? What's the first thing we did? Ordinal Concepts. The kids have to learn those. Then what's the second thing we did? And what's the third thing we did? See if your child can retell the steps to your map and the steps of your day. One great thing about this is you'll have less behavior problems. Your kids will be more engaged in what you're doing, and you're working on their reading comprehension, their short-term memory, and their visual spatial skills. Make a map. Master your chores with a map. Enjoy. It saved me. Hope it saves you too.